Welcome back to Inglés 4.0, the radio show. Let's go! Intermediate.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, friends. And welcome back to the show. Welcome to the intermediate portion. Do you listen to the beginner portion of the show, folks? Do you listen? Do you listen to the advanced portion? I'm not sure really what portion of the audience here is listening on the radio or versus the percentage of people who are listening online on the internet. People seem to like the internet these days. It's a popular way to access the programs. We also have this iPhone application right now. Right? We've launched this iPhone application, so a lot of you are tuning in via your mobile device, an iPhone or similar. And so it's great because really we're becoming so much more accessible. We're coming in, we're beaming in to you through so many different channels, internet, radio, and I think really the internet has been great for radio. The internet has been a big help, and we have people writing in from all over the place, all over the world. We often say that, from all over the place, todos lados. We don't say from all sides, but we say from all over the place. People are calling, people are emailing, people are giving us nice, pleasant feedback on the programs. So I'm glad that you enjoy the show. I hope that you enjoy the show, and at least those of you who do enjoy it seem to be much more vocal than those, who don't. If any of you have any problems with the show, let me know, because we're here to help you. And I hope that you will keep listening and keep studying, and I will keep reviewing. In fact, the verb to keep is our first point today, to keep talking, keep going. Keep plus gerund is to continue doing something. No dejar de hacer algo. Don't stop doing it. Keep going. I'm going to keep giving these classes. I'm going to keep talking on the radio, giving these classes, hosting this show until we reach class number 195, and then I'm going to stop because it's the end of the course. So, but in fact, in your student manual, you don't see this meaning of keep. We focus on keep as in guardar, essentially to hold something in your possession. And the conjugation is keep, kept. So this, of course, is an irregular verb. Keep, kept. So he kept money under his bed. I keep things too long. I told you yesterday that I'm a bit of a pack rat sometimes. I keep things. I keep old papers, and I keep old clothes. I keep books. I keep a lot of things. And sometimes I have to just do a cleaning, do a spring cleaning. I think that would be a good idea. Go through all my papers and my junk and get rid of it, because I keep things too long. Yeah. But I would like to mention this other form, keep plus gerund. I have a program here called the Verb Circus here on Vaughan Radio. You may know it, on Fridays from 6 to 6:30, and Mondays and Fridays from 6 to 6:30. And I do an episode. I talk about one verb per program, one verb per show. And I did a whole episode about the verb to keep. And this was the other use that we saw. Keep going, keep talking, So to keep talking about this verb is, I'll keep talking about it for another minute, but we do eventually have to move on. But we have a little bit of translation. Should we try a little bit of translation? Do you like translation, ladies and gentlemen? All right, let's do a few examples of translation.
Translation.
All right, here. Perdóname, pero siempre me olvido de su nombre. I'm sorry, but I keep forgetting your name. I'm sorry, but I keep forgetting your name. Siempre mantiene su habitación limpio. Siempre mantiene su habitación limpio. He always keeps his room clean. Now, I think this was the same. I think I looked at the same examples yesterday. Well, anyway, we'll look at one more. Trato de mantenerme en forma. Yes, we saw this one yesterday, so you should know this one. No problem, right? I try to keep in shape, en forma, or to keep fit. I try to keep fit. Absolutely. All right, now we can move on, and I won't keep talking about that verb any longer. We'll move on. What if? ¿Y qué? Or ¿y si? What if it rains tomorrow, Kyle? What are you going to do? What if it rains? What if he doesn't have enough money? What if they don't call? What if she doesn't like you? What if they can't fix it? What if it doesn't work? ¿Y si no puede comprarlo? What if he can't buy it? What if he can't buy it? ¿Y si me dicen que no vienen? What if they tell me they can't come? Or that they aren't coming? What if they tell me they aren't coming? What if? So we saw this structure yesterday. And the day before we looked at this structure, what about, this is followed by a noun. What about the weather? ¿Y el tiempo qué? What about the weather? So with the noun, but when we have a little clause, which is a bunch of words containing a subject and a verb, a clause. Here, followed by a subject and auxiliary. And a verb. In this case, we have this structure, what if? What if it rains? What if it doesn't work? What if he can't fix it? So that's the structure that we're looking at here and reviewing. But let's move on now and take a quick look at our word of the day.
Word of the day.
All right, it is time for our word of the day. And kind of related to yesterday's, but we have here pedir prestado. Pedir prestado, which is to borrow. To borrow. B-O-R-R-O-W. To borrow. And yesterday, well, I just said it's kind of similar. Yesterday was prestar atención. And the reason I say they're similar is just because in Spanish it had the verb prestar. Prestar atención yesterday, to pay attention. And I said in inglés, pagamos atención, no lo prestamos. We don't lend attention, we pay it. We pay attention, but here to borrow, pedir prestado. You basically say to ask lent. To ask lent, but no. Because we do have the verb to lend. Prestar is to lend. Every day I lend, yesterday I lent. Lately I have lent. An irregular verb. And now here the verb to borrow is a regular verb. Borrow, borrowed. But it is pedir prestado. So please never say take lent or anything like that. So remember to borrow, and we borrow from. You borrow something from someone, and you lend something to them. I lent him my pen. He borrowed my pen. Kyle, can I borrow your pen? Sure, you can borrow my pen. I will lend you my pen. No problem. So to lend and to borrow, okay? Pedir prestado, to borrow. All right, so this is one, to be honest, people make a lot of mistakes with this. People make a lot of mistakes with this word, to borrow. Remember, to borrow from. To borrow from. And then, of course, when you borrow something, you have to give it back. You have to return it, to give it back. Or pay it back if it's money. If you borrow money from the bank, you have to pay it back. And you have to pay it back often with interest. Yes. So to borrow is our word of the day. I try not to borrow money from friends. I don't think it's a good idea to borrow money or lend money to friends. I mean, small amounts, but anyway, let's move on and talk about something important. Each and every part of this class is important, I think. Each and every part. Well, it's time to talk about each and every and the difference between each and every, which really is kind of a subtle difference. But here, really, we're focusing, the student manual here, it focuses on every. Every. So there's a decent explanation here. For example, each child got a present. Cada uno de los niños recibió un regalo. Each child, cada uno, each. And then every child got a present. Cada niño recibió un regalo. Or todos los niños recibieron un regalo. Right? Yes. Todos los niños. So here, what's the difference? Well, in the first case, we have the idea of cada uno recibió un regalo. Whereas in the second, we have the idea that no child will remain without a gift. Every child will get a gift. So no child will go on without a gift. Todos los niños recibieron uno. So it's very similar, but there is a subtle difference here. So each child got a present, and every child got a present. Cada hucha estaba llena de dinero. Every money box was full of money. Cada una de las huchas estaba lleno de dinero. Each money box was full of money. It's a pretty subtle difference, to be honest. It's a pretty subtle difference. Here in our student manual, we go on to talk about an example. You can park your car on each side of the road. Okay? We wouldn't say you could park your car on every side of the road. Every side. Well, there are only two sides here. A road has two sides, ladies and gentlemen, and we can't, it would make sense to say you can park on each side. You can only be on one side at a time. You can't be on every side. That would almost imply that you're doing it simultaneously. So it is a subtle difference, and it's something that you have to kind of get a feeling for, okay? Each and every. But let's move on now because I want to make sure that we get through the rest of today's material. But we'll move on now and take a quick look at our vocabulary of the day.
Vocabulary of the day.
Yes, it's that time, friends. It's time for our vocabulary of the day. Our 5 words of vocabulary. The first word today is tapa. Tapa. Or cubierta. Tapa. Now, I'm not talking about the tapa that you get with a cervecita in the terraza. No, but this is a cover. This is a cover, we say, una tapa, cubierta, cover. And of course the verb to cover. But apparently, I'm not an expert in Spanish history or culture, but I do enjoy tapas. And someone told me that that the origin of this was that they used to put a little piece of bread sometimes over the top of the beer to keep maybe flies or whatever out of the beer. So, you order your caña, and they'd put it down, and then they'd put a piece of bread on top of the caña, and maybe something on the bread, a little, some jamon or something, if you're lucky, a little tapa. And they'd actually sit it on top of the glass to essentially keep the flies out. Now, this is what I've heard. I'm not sure if this is accurate, but this is what I've heard. And then that was the idea. So it's called a tapa because it was essentially covering the top of the beer. All right? Entusiasta is our second word, which is enthusiastic. I'm pretty enthusiastic about this class today. Are you enthusiastic about this course? If you're enthusiastic, you'll do better. Really, it's true. Enthusiastic students do better. I encourage you to be enthusiastic. Pasillo is the next word. Pasillo. Hallway. Hallway. Yes. Titulares. In the newspaper, the titulares are the headlines. Headlines. And finally, cuero. Cuero. This is leather. Leather. You have very good leather here in Spain, I've noticed. Good leather. If you want leather shoes, you go down to Elche, for example. Elche, is that right? Elche. Famous for its leather shoes. In Alicante. Alicante is known for its leather shoes. Or those areas down there around Elche and those other towns, they're known for their leather and their leather shoes. Yes, you do have good leather. Leather. So we have the TH, leather. Not letter, but leather. Leather. All right. We have one more thing to talk about. Do you know what it is? Would you like to find out what the last thing is? We've got one. I just found out that we have 1 minute left. So yes, it is time for the phrasal verb to find out. Enterarse. Averiguar. To find out. To find out. When did you find out about this course? Oh, well, Kyle, I found out about it in September. Okay. When did you find out about this radio show? Did you find out about this radio show in October? Maybe? When did you find out about Vaughan Radio in general? I found out about Vaughan Radio maybe 5 years ago. Personally, I found out about Vaughan Radio 6 years ago. A long time ago. I found out about the radio. So to find out, enterarse, or averiguar. Ask me when I found out about Vaughan Systems. Kyle, when did you find out about Vaughan Systems? Well, I found out about Vaughan Systems 7 years ago. All right, I just found out that it is time to end the class, so I'm going to stop there, but I want to thank you very much for listening. I'm going to be back in a couple minutes with the advanced class, and I'll be back tomorrow for more at the same time, same place. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.